Are you thinking of leaving San Francisco for the East Bay? You are not alone. Stay tuned for 5 reasons San Franciscans are heading east. Hi everyone, I'm Simone Koga with That East Bay Life. I'm a realtor serving Oakland, Berkeley, and surrounding communities. I'm constantly putting out new information about That East Bay Life, so subscribe if you'd like to find out more. So I've worked with a lot of buyers moving from San Francisco to the East Bay over the years, but this year, in the summer of 2020, there are so many more. And there's some, themes that I'm seeing amongst my clients. Really, we are living in our homes and in our communities differently than we used to. There are different things that we need out of homes and houses and communities and neighborhoods that we didn't necessarily prioritize previously. And that's changed a lot about where people want to live. So let me talk to you about the 5 reasons I see most buyers coming over to the East Bay. We're gonna start with a really great one. Number 1, sunshine. We have amazing weather in the East Bay. I mean, it is usually 5 to 10 degrees warmer in Oakland and Berkeley than it is in San Francisco. Look, I loved living in the city when I did. It was a whole lot of fun. There's a lot to do. But there is a reason that the fog has a name, right? I mean, it is just pervasive, and it's something that you're not really going to deal with over in the East Bay. We may have our windy and foggy days here and there, but they are few and far between, especially when compared to the city. So if you're looking for great outdoor time, come out east. We've got so much sunshine, it feels great. We're also not nearly as hot as further inland. Like once you cross over the mountain ridge that the Caldecott Tunnel runs through, getting you over to Contra Costa County, it can definitely become a whole different type of climate. It's scorching during the summer over there, and air conditioning and pools are very common. Not something that you find that much in Oakland, Berkeley. There are a few homes with AC, but it's not necessary. It's usually in the 60s and 70s here. Not very windy, not very foggy during the summer. Might get up into the 80s. Rarely will it get into the 90s. I think maybe 1 or 2 days out of the year. And we usually have summer running from, April. Late March is really, really sunny too, but certainly by April through October, you've got really, really great weather. And then in November through February, March, you can have some rainy months, but even then, a whole lot warmer than San Francisco. Okay, so for reason number 2 that most people are moving to the East Bay, well, there's a really big variety in the types of communities and neighborhoods that we have here. From Berkeley to Oakland to Piedmont to the micro neighborhoods within that. You've got Gaskill and Longfellow in the area that's called Nobi. You've got Rockridge, you've got Thousand Oaks. I mean, there are so many neighborhoods. So whatever type of lifestyle you're looking for, you're very likely to find it here. I know a lot of people come over from the city and want to have that same level of walkability. Okay, live near Piedmont Avenue, off Solano Avenue, off of College Avenue, lots of avenues that we live around, or in Uptown, you get a whole lot of that walkability. And if you're looking for more of a suburban feel, a neighborhood where you're likely to see children riding around on bikes on the streets or people walking their dogs often, check out Trestle Glen, Lincoln Highlands, Westbury. There are tons of communities that kind of give you that suburban feel, but are still about 5 minutes away from the more urban parts that are going to give you that walkability. If you're looking to be in a little bit more of a woodsy or remote area, hey, we've got that too. Come up to Montclair or the Berkeley Hills. There are tons of hills neighborhoods where you feel like you are going to Tahoe. You're going on a retreat when you go home because you're surrounded by woods. You'll see deer all the time and turkey. And it's just amazing because you get all these different things within a 10 to 20 minute drive of the rest of it, right? Going from El Cerrito down to Alameda, it takes 20 minutes. So you can cover a good number of cities and a good number of neighborhoods and varieties of neighborhoods in no time at all. Okay, so reason number 3 people are coming over here. This might be a really obvious one for some of you. Housing prices. Okay, so the average single family home in San Francisco, the average price of a single family home in San Francisco, June 2020, so this was just last month, was $1.8 million. You know what the average for Oakland was? Same time, single family homes in Oakland in June 2020 averaged $1.080 million. So it's almost $800,000, $720,000 less. In Berkeley, prices are a little bit higher. So they average, I believe it was 1.3 million for the month of June as well. And certainly there are communities where you'll see higher than the average in San Francisco. Piedmont, for example, it's really difficult to get into Piedmont under 2 million. There are obviously parts of Oakland, there are parts of San Leandro, there are parts of Berkeley even that you can, El Cerrito, that you can find homes, you know, a condo for $500,000, right? So there's a big variety, but you get so much more for your money when you come out here. What you would spend for a 2-bedroom condo in San Francisco, like 1.4 million, will easily get you a 3-bed, 2-bath house with a backyard in the East Bay. So people are coming over here to get more. Considering that we're wanting these Zoom rooms or office, you know, additional office space or child space, like a play space for them, or backyards, because we're spending so much time at home. People are really thinking like, okay, if I'm gonna pay $1.8 million, I might as well get a whole lot for it. Or, you know, I don't have $1.8 million, I've got a $1 million budget. Can I find something? Absolutely. In the East Bay, you can find a great home for $1 million. And, you know, it's gonna be a million times better than what you could find in San Francisco. Not to knock the city, because it's pretty awesome too. Okay, so the number 4 reason I see people moving out here is because there's really great access to the outdoors in the East Bay. The East Bay Regional Park System and like the Tilden Park and the Redwood Regional Park, there are tons and tons of hiking, biking, horseback riding trails across the East Bay. We have the Bay as well for, you know, you can take walks along Point Richmond or in Emeryville or along the Hayward shoreline. I mean, there's tons and tons to do outdoors here. And considering that we're not living our lives in public indoor spaces anymore, right? We're staying at home more, or we're going out into the outdoors for our recreation these days. It's really great to have a ton of options. Not only do we have lots of recreation options like right here in the East Bay, you're also a little bit closer when you're going to, you know, experience things, you know, for a day trip or a weekend away or things like that. So if you're going to go up to Tahoe, I mean, go ahead and knock 30 to 45 minutes off of your, you know, your drive, because you don't have to get out of the city. You're already starting over here. Just zip on the freeway and get on over to Tahoe or over to Yosemite or to get up to Napa. It's really, really quick from here. So one other reason I see a lot of people moving this way, so they can enjoy the great recreation that we have here in the East Bay, and so that they also have easy access to recreation that Northern California offers as well. And I think the number 5, the big reason that people are coming here is because they really do want to stay in the Bay Area, right? We recognize that San Francisco is, you know, a big draw for people. It's got great jobs, it's got a lot of culture, nightlife, restaurants, activities. The rest of the Bay Area has a lot of thriving culture as well. I'd like to think that the East Bay actually has even more to offer. I know that you know, there might be a little bit of a rivalry there, but there's a lot to offer in the East Bay. And while we may not be able to access a lot of those things right now, because we are trying to social distance and live our lives a little bit differently, I think most of us do have a hope that life will return to somewhat normal in the next year or two. And when that does happen, we don't want to be too far away. A lot of the local Bay Area tech firms are allowing people to work from home, and so people are going to take advantage of that and be able to work from Barbados. Have you guys seen that deal? You can go to Barbados and they're like, give you a test and then you can work from home in Barbados for the rest of the year. But what happens if you decide in a year that, you know what, I really don't like my company, or I don't like the way they've been handling things, or, you know, I just want to change in life and I want to change a job. It's a lot harder to do that in Barbados than it would be if you're in the Bay Area. And, you know, I think that's something that people are considering too, that when life does return to normal, they'd rather be closer to San Francisco and the Bay Area for restaurants, for entertainment, for jobs, for ease of travel. I know there are a lot of people that want to be able to, you know, travel to Hawaii or travel to Asia with a little bit more ease than they would from the East Coast. There's a lot of really great things that the West Coast gives you access to. And if you're going to have to live on the West Coast for all those reasons, why not explore, you know, the East Bay, where you can get a whole lot more bang for your buck? So those are 5 of the big reasons I'm saying buyers come over here. Have you been thinking about moving to the East Bay? If you've got questions, drop them in the comments below. I'm happy to give you information all about that East Bay life. See you later.